Don't be distracted. Close it, put it right in the inner purse or inner pocket. Not in silence, off. So you can listen to God as He speaks to us. It's very, very important for us to know the power of listening, the power of hearing. To hear is different from listening. To hear means to know, to be conscious of the sound that comes and goes through the ear without attention to it, or be transformed by what you hear. But listening is very important. Listening involves hearing within the intention of being transformed by what we hear. That's why one of the most important commandments or instruction God gave to the people of Israel in Deuteronomy chapter 6:4 is Shema. Shema, O Israel. Listen, O Israel. It's not very, very important. Once there's listening, everything can follow. And most of the time, to see or have anyone listening to you, the person must have the intention. First of all, he or she will pay attention to you. Two, the person must have the intention of being transformed by what you are saying. So new knowledge will come that will make the person to live where he or she was to a new position. And that's why some will reject it. Some people will, as we are talking, they're listening. They'll be hearing without paying attention. Their minds will be in some other places. But the one you have a mind, the person you are longing to have around you, when he or she is speaking, you pay rapt attention because you are listening. And in the gospel, Jesus will always say, my flock, they listen to me. I know them. The know in the Bible, knowledge in the Bible is not intellectual knowledge. Knowledge means I love them and they love me. Just like Jesus would say, I know my Father and my Father knows me. And I lay down my life for the flock. That knowledge of I know my Father and my Father knows me is not knowledge of intellectual knowledge. It means I love my Father loves me. Because of this love, I'm ready to do anything my Father has told me to do, including giving my whole life for whatever, especially for human beings. Pay attention on the first reading, Paul and Barnabas. Before the conversion of Paul, in chapter 9 of Acts of Apostles, Paul was not ready to listen to anything. He heard about this breeze of new life coming from Jesus. He didn't want to listen to it. He took a different way of life, a way of destruction. He was thinking he knows the way. But he didn't know. He was blind because in order to see well, you must listen well. He didn't listen to the voice. Rather, he blocked his ears and was only listening to what he had in mind before. And he was bringing death until the way met him on the way. The way Jesus Christ, who is the way, met him on the way and then spoke. He listened forcefully. When he listened, what he heard, he said, "Who are you? Am I listening? Who are you? Who are you talking?" So, "I'm Jesus, whom you are persecuting, my own people." Then he listened. And what he listened transformed him. The scale from his eyes dropped. He began to see things as he should be. From that moment, certain power entered inside him. Because by listening, there's a power that comes from listening. That you will never be whom you are all the while. But some vibrancy, some strength will come inside of you. You will start behaving differently. Saul became Paul. The boldness in him was so strong, even though the master says he will suffer a lot. Because to make other people to listen, it will involve laying down one's life. They can hear you, but for them to listen to you, you will be ready to lay down your life. It's very demanding. Paul was told about it. After all, Stephen, who listened and spoke about what he heard and saw, he led his life, and placed his clothes on the feet of Paul to tell him, "You continue. It is your turn to listen, and you will lay down your life when the time comes." Of course, we know a time came when he shouted, "Lord, what is going on? The suffering is too much for me." But Lord said, "My grace is enough for you." This is what it involves when you listen and be transformed. He went to Antioch in Pisidia, Barnabas and Paul, to speak to the people. And when he spoke, the breeze, the power of the Spirit permeates everyone. Because what they heard by listening was different. But there were some group who were listening only. The Jews. They were only listening. The sound was coming to their ears. It makes no impact on them. These are the ones who will fight to make sure no one listens. Because if everybody listens, you have new creation, new people. They fought him. They fought them. They created one particular accusation against them. But Paul and Barnabas left for another city, Iconium. But what they had spoken, somebody was transformed by it. That's why if you and I, if we listen to God and be transformed, people around us, people around you will be different. Not many will listen to you, but some people will still listen to you if what you have received is genuine from the Lord. Which means you will never be afraid that somebody rejected what the good things that come from your mouth or from your life. You shouldn't be in any case, be discouraged. It's normal because to listen, it needs a lot. And it needs a lot of sacrifice on your own side. Do not say, "I have spoken to them. This my son and my daughter, I have spoken to him or her. I am tired." No. You must persist because that suffering you are going through of saying it over and over again is laying down your life. You must keep doing it until he permeates and brings transformation. Never give up because of rejection. If you give up, you have given up the main reason for that call you have. Paul and Barnabas, even though when they faced rejection, they didn't stop, because they know that what they have received involves rejection. It's very demanding, but they persisted. Time will come when the stone will be thrown on them, but the stone will not stop them, because what they have received is so precious that you cannot keep it to yourself. You must let it out. In the gospel, Jesus, this particular gospel of John chapter 10, is read every fourth Sunday of Easter, because today is Good Shepherd Sunday. And the master, the real shepherd, he says, I know my flock. My flock listens to me. My flock follow me. Now, you have to put yourself in context and know why Jesus says the flock follow him. Because what we are used to in our own Africa is where the shepherd follow the flock. You can see Fulani herdsmen or the herdsmen carrying stick, and in modern time carrying AK-47 and AK-49 and bomb. But they'll be at the back hitting the flock, the sheep. In Israel, it's the reverse. In Israel, the shepherd is always in front. As he's going, he's looking for the pasture. The sheep are following behind. So that as he goes, he'll be looking out in case there are wolves. Because many times, many shepherds die because they are fighting against the wolves for the sake of their sheep. And you must have read in the gospel that it is very easy for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God than the camel to pass through the eye of a needle. And I'm sure in your ear, in your heart, you'll be wondering, what kind of needle is this needle? I know needle now. I know how it's difficult for me to use a thread to put it inside. I have to put it in my mouth, the saliva. I pass it out 25. Sometimes I cannot see very well. I call somebody, hey, my children, come. Please help me, because this one is difficult too. So you'll be wondering how camel will enter into that eye of a needle, which is impossible, nearly impossible. But the eye of a needle is not that what. Eye of a needle means small door. It's a small door. It's a small door. In Israel, it's not like we do. Each one, they carry a sheep, we go and put in your house. No. They have a common place where fence is fenced, but not high fence. And a small gate, we call it eye of a needle, small gates, where all the shepherds, at the end of the day, they bring all their flock the same place. Now, the familiarity between the shepherd and the flock is so intimate that the flock or the sheep you have is so familiar with the voice of the shepherd that even other person call the name, they will not come to you. So one can give you the name gold to all her sheep, gold. Another one silver, another one whatever. Early in the morning, the shepherd will come, lie down on the door at the door. And the call, he will say, gold. All the gold, all of them will be coming from where they are. They will passing over the border of the shepherd as inspecting them to see whether someone has a wound or not in order to take care of them. If somebody else, a brigand, a thief, hears the gold and goes early in the morning and says, gold, no one will come. That voice is unfamiliar. Now, you'll be able to understand when Jesus says, my sheep, they hear my voice. In other words, there must be intimacy between the sheep and shepherd. The question is, are you intimate with him? Do you know why you reject when you hear his voice? There are certain behavior that is in you, in me, that he says to me, stop that. Stop that relationship. It does not help you at all. That man you are going with is not your husband. That one you are cooking nice soup, vegetable soup on the bush on the big is not your husband. That woman you are paying school fees for all her children is not your wife. You are misbehaving. Stop. Why do you think you stop? You don't want to stop. Because you are not intimate with the master. Not yet. You are intimate with some other masters. So they are throwing you off balance. The moment you are intimate with the master. Now pay attention to what I said before. That this shepherd is so kind that he lies down. Sheep are crossing over him. He's respecting them one by one. And most of the time, he goes ahead, look for the pastures, and even fight against the wolves. Sometimes he dies fighting the wolves. You see how this shepherd goes all the way to protect the sheep. Now, the question is, why can't the sheep love him? What is that he is not doing that will make you not to love him? What can make you not to love the master? Having taken what is yours and give you what is his. What is yours? Death. What is his? Life. He takes your life, your death, gave you life. Who else gives you something better that you can prefer that to him? No one. You see why? You are where you are. You find it difficult to break away from that habit. You're not generous. You're not kind. You want everybody to be giving you. You want to be receiving. But your eyes are not open to see whom to help. Why? If you know how intimate the master is, then you begin to be a master. You imitate him also. Why did he lay his life down for us? So that we can do the same. The same. Imitate him. The book of Revelation, which is a very trickish book. We call it symbolic book. Very symbolic. Because the language is very different. Many people who have read, because they read the book of Revelation, they didn't understand anything, so they interpret it for themselves. When they see 666, they say Pope. When anything, they say, I bought this biscuit, I saw 666 in it. Hey, it's Antichrist, because you don't know what it means anyway. And you interpret what you like. Even the Jehovah's Witnesses will say, they were the only ones who said 144,000. But they are more than 144,000, but they said they're the only one. They don't know the meaning behind the whole thing. Whenever you see 144, 12, it's symbolic to people of Israel. And if you read the book of Revelation, it will tell you, when he mentioned 144,000, it will tell you something what we read today. I saw people uncountable. I saw them from tribes, from nations, every color, every different kind of people. I saw people who listen to the Lamb. They listen to him, transformed by him. They suffer because they listened. But now, the Lamb has repaired them. They're now wearing white. Before, they were wearing blood because their necks were cut off. They were persecuted. They were humiliated. They were lonely. They were insulted. They went through every kind of oppression and suppression. But they didn't stop listening to the Lamb, Jesus Christ. But now, their red has been turned. They are wearing now white, the sign of heavenly glory, the sign of purity and innocence. They are now made pure. And are holding in their hands beautiful flower, a sign of victory. You see, what he says to you is me, and you and me is this. When we listen, though we will suffer, but there's a reward. That reward is glorious one. That's why we have that reading there. So today we are celebrating Father's Day. Every father is a shepherd. But there's no father who is a shepherd if you don't disconnect yourself with the main shepherd. The main shepherd is Jesus Christ. Any father of a house, you are not intimacy with Jesus, your fatherhood will not work. If you cannot listen to the main master, no one will listen to you. They can be hearing you what you're saying, their children. But you see the master. People used to say, Eve, why did Eve collect the fruit? Why? And the question is, where was the Adam that time? Where was Adam? Because he didn't stay where he's supposed to stay. Instead of Adam went to go and drink a tombo or beer. That vacuum, that space, they will come and take it. If you're a father, if you don't stay where you're supposed to stay, devil will take the place. And don't blame the other one, my wife, my children. No, you have not taken your place. As long as you remain in your place, devil will not have a portion to come. And that place is a place to lead your family in prayer. Be kind. And secondly, I encourage the fathers. Most of the time you will speak. People will not listen to you. Most of the time you suffer in silence. I've said it severally. When you have your children, especially female one, they marry. They have children. Their wife will go for Omugwo. Carrying, after that, the husband of the daughter will buy clothes, buy a bag of rice, buys a lot of things. And what they bring to you? Kai. Because they want you to die soon. What does it mean? Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself while you live. I know fathers, they don't rest. Every minute they're thinking about the wife and children. BP is always common to them. But take care of yourself. Pay attention to your health. Eat well if possible. Wives, the mothers, please. Many times you may complain. My husband doesn't. I used to say to a woman, when you come, I say, look, do you want your husband to be alive? He said, no. If you don't want him to die, please celebrate him, notwithstanding the shortcomings. Because you see that husband, the father, that space he occupies. He may have one rich man, the Dankote outside, who is appreciating you because the husband is alive. Just wait if he's on my life. You see how he devour you, trash you, dump you. You'll be wondering, but you used to love me before. I said, love what? It's because your husband is there. I appreciate them. Men die very young, very early. Because they want to be men. When they are emotionally suffocating themselves, they don't want to cry. If I cry now, they will think I'm not my man. But inside of him is dying, dying slowly. Men, rise, take care of yourself. Be close to God. Eat well, rest. Go somewhere, relax. Meet other people, relax. Life is too short. Very short. If you die, you die. The women can survive faster. They have that resilience. They can stay for long, but you know. If a woman dies, a man remains. Most of the time, if you are already elderly, the man don't stay too long. But when the man dies, the woman can stay even 10 years extra. So when they say that man, they're not strong. Men are not strong, by the way. When they say they're strong, it's just like this. They're not strong. Help them, support them, pray for them. May the Lord keep us today through Christ our Lord.